What are you waiting for so that you can finally feel better? Are you waiting for clarity, for the pressure to ease, for money to change, for clients to show up, for the idea to land, or for a relationship to change, or some sign that your life is finally moving? I want to talk about this today because you are the miracle that you're waiting for. If you're new here, I'm Wanda Vitale, and this is the Reality Architects, where I talk about this very same thing, how we create our lives from the inside out. And I share my personal experiences of losing everything, rebuilding, and having a life that I love. I want to start with this. Reality is projective. It's not receptive. It's a mirror. Reality isn't something that we receive. It's something we project. What we perceive is a direct reflection of our internal state, whether we're happy or sad or whatever your state is, calm. It's a direct reflection of our beliefs that we have and our unresolved patterns. Most people think they're a blob of flesh like I used to. But what's true? You're trillions of light particles, photons, that when they're coherent, form plasma. Plasma is a stabilized field of energy and consciousness. But photons are not just mere particles of light. They're carriers of information, of memory, and consciousness, are levels of consciousness. And when these photons stabilize into plasma, think of plasma as similarly vibrating particles, plasma becomes the medium through which your internal state is projected onto reality. This is the physics of reality and how it gets created. It's not happenstance. It's not luck. It's you. It's me. We've all heard about the experiments with ducks being imprinted on the first moving object that they see. So if they see a dog, those ducks think they're a dog. There are giraffes in Africa that imprinted to a Jeep, so they thought they were a Jeep. But we're no different. We imprint plasma, these fields of information, with our patterns. And that's our beliefs, whether they're right or wrong or good or bad. It's just whatever we believe. With our emotions, the emotions that we hold on a daily basis, and our unresolved patterns, like the fear that you don't want to feel, like shame that will come up, or rage for some people. But this imprinting means that what you stabilize in your energy field, because you have a field, you are a field of energy, that stabilization becomes the template for what this plasma mirrors and reflects back to you. So when these light particles stabilize around distorted energy, fear, blame, resistance, they form distorted plasma walls. These walls block the very clarity that you want. They distort the reflection, and they separate the self, who you say you are, from the true self, who you really are, which is your soul. And it creates the illusion of separation. And most importantly, it creates exhaustion. I read all your comments, and so many of you are saying now that you feel so tired. And there's a reason that you feel tired. When we are willing to feel whatever emotion is arising, if it's fear, I think in a video I recorded last week, I had anger come up, anger for the way women have been treated for centuries. I felt the anger. My body then metabolized the anger, and I had a couple down days, and then I was fine. My energy is back. But many people aren't feeling what you're feeling. You're resisting it. And then you tell yourself a story around those old feelings like, well, nothing's ever going to change. Nothing ever works out for me. This is bad. I feel so alone. I feel so disconnected. Listen, I understand why you feel that way. This is how the greater part of us, our soul, gets our attention. Our unresolved emotions, whether it's anger or aloneness or unworthiness, I'm not enough, create vibrational frequencies. And those frequencies interact with that plasma field. And they distort even what we can see, causing us to see what we expect rather than what is true. I've said this in other videos. Our minds are predictive machines. So our minds will convert our perception into an old story. Nothing ever changes. I don't know how to make this happen. Blah-de, blah-de, blah. We're full of those blah-de, blahs, aren't we? And that's what's coming up right now. We have cognitive filters. Our beliefs actually act as filters through which we interpret reality. If we hold limiting beliefs, we, again, project those onto our experiences, thereby shaping our reality accordingly. We also project our energetic imprints, past traumas, patterns that are stored in these energetic fields that we are. You know, we have a body, and then we have a greater field. Your trauma, the pain that has not been metabolized is still there, and it will still be there until you're willing to sit with it and be present with it. And so when we encounter similar situations to our old trauma, there we are, imprinting and projecting those old emotional imprints onto our current reality. And it can't change. That's what I want you to understand. It can't change. So many people now are waiting for a sign, are waiting for something to change, are waiting for external reality to change so that they feel better. But it just doesn't work that way, because you are projecting your experience of external reality, and it's not in your mind. And here in my work, I go deeper into our bodies, because many of you are wired to feel more. Your DNA, just like mine, are little antennae that are out all the time. And the more sensitive you are, the more you feel everything. Everything. After you awaken, it doesn't mean anything until your nervous system recalibrates. That was my experience. I had an ego death, which you would call an awakening, about, 12 years ago, when the situations in my life caused me to face my own patterns and face my terror. That's when I said, live me, breathe me, be me. My life didn't stabilize in a heartbeat. It took a few years to do the inner work. What am I projecting? Where am I reacting instead of choosing? And right now, all of our old patterns are coming up, because today is the July 19th, and astrologers are talking about how there is a very rare planetary alignment, Barbeau's basket. It may affect you personally, like it is me. Depends on your astrological chart. It may not. But the bigger picture of what's happening is that more of the light codes, more of the light and intelligence and love that are from our soul, everybody's soul, is coming in. And it's pushing up all these old patterns. So if you're wondering, why isn't your life changing? When is it going to change? And if you're saying, I'm so afraid and I don't know what to do, nothing out there can change until you change. Because right now, during this time of greater awakening, we're projecting our unresolved survival-based energies onto the plasma field where information travels. And we create a collective mirror that's dense with these distorted survival-based energies. And so depending upon where your attention is, it leads to exhaustion, it leads to confusion, and it leads to a disconnect from the present moment. And that's what I want to remind you. The future hasn't happened yet. The past is over. All we have is right now, and right now, and right now. But where is your attention? What story are you telling? What are you choosing to feel? Because nothing makes you feel anything. You can choose it. You can start your day with joy in the morning. But I don't think a lot of people are doing that. We're just like a puppet being pulled by our old narratives that are exhausting. I mean, the exhaustion is the friction between what's ready to come in and what's here and the old patterns in us. I'm not enough. Life doesn't ever work out for me. Oh, poor me. This current shift that we're in is asking of us to release these old patterns. And those who resist this release are certainly going to experience fatigue as their systems, as your nervous system struggles to maintain these old, outdated narratives. So how do we navigate this shift? Allow yourself to release these old patterns, even if they feel familiar. Trust that the release will make space for something new, better, higher, your unique plan that is unfolding in your life. And we have to question our old patterns. Is fear keeping you safe? It never does. What is it asking you to do? Terror used to be my best friend when my life collapsed, and I would invite it in to feel the terror, to witness it, to not make it move, to not do anything other than come on in. Come on in, fear. Take up space in my heart wherever you need to be. And I stayed with it until it dissipated. That's how we release things. And second, be mindful of your projections. Observe your thoughts and emotions, not to blame yourself, just to stop the autopilot. Recognize when you're projecting old patterns onto your current reality. What do you hear yourself say when you're frustrated? It might be, nothing ever works out for me. Number two, be mindful of your projections. Recognize when you're projecting your old patterns onto your present experience. Things that would say, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. No, I never get what I want. Why is this so hard? And number three, anchor in the present. Practice grounding techniques to bring your awareness back to here and now. If you're looping in your mind, count backwards. Start at 100. Count backwards until you're calm, and then come back to the present. No one can do that but you. Take a walk if you have to. Take a break if you have to. Embrace the stillness of the present moment. And realize that when you come back to stillness, when you drop into your heart, into the moment, now and now and now, you are stabilizing this plasma field of information around you. And especially for those of you who are highly sensitive or empaths, your antenna feels everything. And you get to decide what you focus on. You get to decide if you're focused on something out there in a story, or you get to decide if you're focusing on what feels good, joy, wonder. The field, your field, always returns to you exactly, perfectly. Your most dominant states, your most dominant emotions, and the stories that you tell yourself about life. And I realize for those of us who are sensitives, it takes a little more practice than people who are not wired like us, because we do feel everything. But it doesn't mean that you have to obey the story that you're telling yourself. You can feel fear, and it means nothing. You can look at a depleted bank account, and it means nothing. You can choose how the mirror responds. And this is the time during this massive shift in humanity and in consciousness when the world needs reality architects, not reality reactors, but architects. Because you're the architect of your experience. You have the power to change the narrative of your life and of the world by changing the frequency that you project onto the plasma mirror of reality. Embrace this time as an opportunity to reshape your reality and align with these higher frequencies. And as a side note, those of you who remember Atlantean lives, like I do, I have a vivid memory of observing what looked like a plasma wall around me. It was based on, could have been your function, as it was mine then, to encode that wall, that plasma, with information and wisdom so that it would not be lost. And in many of you, this is coming online again. So I'm saying this to help you remember why you're here and how to move through this time. I'm dropping a link below for the waitlist to join the Architect Circle. And it's where we work with these principles. Because right now, our old patterns are getting very loud. And our nervous systems go to what's normal, what's familiar, even when familiar is not good. It takes consistency, it takes persistence. And I've learned in the last couple of years in working with those of you who are here to remember your power, that it takes a community to support you. So look for that link below.